Arguably, one of the most common questions I get asked on the channel is, what do you feed your chickens? Guys, what I feed the chickens is nothing complicated. It's what chickens feed on. Anyway, I'm going to answer that right now. So let's get inside the poultry unit, okay? Over here. The poultry unit is very scanty right now, guys. You won't believe me. Yeah, before we would have so many chickens on the inside here. Lots and lots of chickens. But right now, things have changed, yeah? I got rid of most of the dual-purpose birds. Actually, I'm left with just a single cock. That's a single male. And then about 7 females. That's from the dual-purpose chickens. But let's go inside and I show you exactly what their house looks like at the moment. Over here, you can see where the local chickens are. And this is my colleague, yeah? He's helping to clean up. These are the drinkers for the chickens, and we are washing them from a wheelbarrow. You can see the drinkers, you can see the water over there. They were washed with soap first of all, and then the water is being put on the inside. On the outside, we already have a few of the tiny local chickens, the young ones. Some of them got out. And then let's go inside and see the house for the dual-purpose birds. Here we go. These are some of the few females that have remained. Very, very few. And then when you enter the house, you can see, guys, almost nothing, almost nothing. We have just one male. Then we have this other male. This other male is part of our male breeders. Certainly is one of the male breeders. But it was a bit small, so we let it out. We didn't want it to breed with the females on the other side. So we let it out, but it was doing a good job here. So you can see that the laying boxes are empty. This other side where the males were living, there's completely nothing. So we got rid of all the males. They are all out. Then you can see the floor, which was all wood shavings. Yeah, there is nothing here. So this is proper manure for us. So what we're actually going to do is that we're going to get out all this manure, all these wood shavings and manure, all the litter that was down. We're going to get it out and we shall take it to the garden. It's very, very, very nice sawdust. I don't know if these chickens have given us an egg. The ones that remained, nothing. Yeah, so there is no eggs for us. No eggs. Yeah, so the ones that remained are probably not laying. I don't know why. Let's check. No eggs, yeah? So we have no eggs completely, and you can even hear echoes on the inside of here. Quite strange. We still had some feed left in the feeders by the time the birds were taken. So this feed is what we're going to be using to feed the local birds until we just decide that, you know, all the local birds are going to get over. So talking about the feed for the dual-purpose birds, as you can see it right here, guys, it was commercial feed. So now this is feed that we would mix for the dual-purpose birds, and we would give them that feed for just half the day. Then for the rest of the half of the day, we would just let them out and they're free range. And it was mixed just like the commercial feed, you know. We would put the concentrate, we mix it with maize, then maize bran, and then some limestone, and that's it. And then when it gets to about 2-3 p.m., we let them out and then they go and feed on the free range system. So that's what we were giving them. Again, nothing complicated. So let's go and let the free range birds out. We still have the free range birds, guys, on the inside. And when we let them out, they're going to lead us to what they feed on. These are really, really easy, yeah? So I won't direct you guys there. I'll just open for them. You see the free range birds stay inside here with the guinea fowls. You can see the guinea fowls. Opening the door is actually quite tricky. I'll open it. Good. Okay. Okay. Then we'll just watch them get out. You see them running over there? It's because that's where the food is, guys. So you see them running out, all of them with the guinea fowls, and they have run directly to where the food is. And that is what we feed them, guys. That's what we feed the free range the birds. So most of it is cabbage from the garden. So we have a garden on the farm that has cabbage, but the rest is kitchen scraps, guys. The rest is kitchen scraps. You see mangoes, you see pawpaws, leftover rice, leftover posho, fruits, everything. That's what the birds are feeding on. Over there in that feeder, you'll see the birds have been there. I think because I've come close, they have decided to run away. But in that feeder, there's some little commercial feed. So what happens is that when the free range feed, which the birds feed on, is completely over, then we give them some commercial feed, because sometimes the food from the garden and the food scraps might not be enough. So you can see that this bird over here, this is actually the chicken that thought it was a guinea fowl. I don't know if it still thinks it's a guinea fowl, honestly, yeah? So ideally right now it would be chilling with the guinea fowls, but it's not doing so anymore. So I think it has grown up and realized that it's actually a chicken and it's not a guinea fowl. Over there, you can see the small tiny guinea fowl. I'll zoom in. You see that small guinea fowl over there? That we captured from the wild when it was still a little tiny baby. So right now it has stayed around, but then you can see the rest of the birds feeding right here, yeah? So they are feeding on the fruiting stuff. There is mangoes, yeah? Birds actually feed on fruits, it's interesting. They feed on the mangoes, like I've said, pawpaws. Pawpaws is papaya, rice, anything that comes from the garden, they do love to enjoy. So that's what they feed on for most of the time. For our layer breeders, which are actually in this structure over here, we feed them with commercial feed. Or maybe not commercial feed, I don't know how you would describe it, but it's commercial feed that we partially mix ourselves, yeah? So it's made up of premixes. Before we were using a concentrate, yeah? We're using a concentrate, and the concentrate is what provides most of the protein. So it has mainly soya on the inside of it. I don't think it has fish meal. I studied it some time back and it didn't have fish meal. And so that's what we were using. We mix it together with maize, and then with maize bran. Maize provides most of the calories that we need. Up to 60% of the feed can actually be maize. So we just get the maize and we break the maize up into smaller particles using a milling machine. I've shown the milling machine before on the channel. So we just break the maize into smaller particles, and then after that we mix it also with limestone to provide the calcium that's necessary for both the bones and the eggshell. And also we provide them with maize bran. The maize bran is to increase the bulk of the food while not significantly increasing.
Many poultry farmers in Uganda have invested in exotic breeds. However, for many of those, they run into losses because they have not got the right information before they launch into the business. Elias Kasumba of Nabingo Chianja Zone, Wakiso District, has been a poultry farmer since 1990.
By the year 2005, that's when I changed my mind and I started this local birds.
Speaking from experience, Kasumba advises that it's important to seek guidance on housing, feeding, and where to procure disease-free birds.
How should I make sure that instead of buying local eggs, I don't buy broilers?
Yeah, mainly the customers, I always advise them, when you want to buy the local birds, you should come and visit the farmers first, and you see the breed, the type of the breed he has or she has, before making an order.
The buyer should avoid birds with a runny nose and red eyes.
Please, don't make the booking on the phone. Spare maybe 20 minutes. Come and visit the farm where you are going to get the birds.
Unlike farmers who think a successful poultry farmer must have thousands of birds, Kasumba says 200 to 300 are ideal for easy supervision.
No, that one is enough for me because I'm a breeder. I normally get the chicks. I take the eggs to the hatchery and I get the chicks. Every week, every Wednesday, I sell about maybe 800 or 1,000 chicks. They're old.
He explains the stages of growth and how the birds should be cared for if the farmer is looking for good results.
When you take them to the hatchery, after 18 days, they take those eggs in the candling room. They call it a candling room. Yeah, for sorting. That is whereby they are going to sort the infertiles and the fertiles. The infertiles, they're going to give it back to you. The infertiles, they are putting them back to the hatching machine for another 3 days to complete the 21 days. Here, whereby you get your chicks.
A farmer is advised to have a cock that mounts the ends. Each cock should be allocated 8 to 10 ends to avoid competition and fighting.
If you have 100, you must have 10 cocks. And also, you must make sure that they are sharp, they are doing the work.
Kasumba says it's vital to maintain good management and hygiene standards. Some of the tips he gives are: avoid pouring water in the chicken house because this causes humidity. Use well mixed and dry feeds. Feed the birds at regular times and monitor their health daily.
Cleanliness, hygienically, cleanliness is very important. These drinkers should be cleaned every morning. This place should be cleaned every morning. These feeds, you have to remove everything and you put a fresh one, a new one.
He also recommends cold and clean water at all times.
You can't just take a chicken on the tap and you open and you come and give. You keep it when they are in a good place, so that when they drink it, it's okay.
At 6 months, they will start laying eggs, and Kasumba explains what the farmer needs to do at this stage.
Yeah, if you have 300 hens, you get 220 minimum a day. That is maybe 7 trays a day.
The farmer prefers not to sell the eggs for consumption, but he hatches them and sells the chicks, which he says is more profitable. Kasumba discourages the habit of farmers debeaking or trimming the beaks of his birds, saying it affects their market value, especially if the buyer is looking for birds to rear. Despite the local breed being resistant to disease, vaccination is a must.
7 days, you have to vaccinate those chicks. First week, second week, up to 4th week, with different vaccines.
Kasumba advises on keeping accounts and records.
You have to keep the records. It is very important to know that by the time you are going to sell your cocks or your hens, you have to calculate how much have you used and what balance are you going to get.
For the 26 years Kasumba has been in this business, he says that a lot has changed for the better.
But in addition to that, guys, today we let out some of the parent stock. You guys can see the very white things in the background. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Dr. Daniel over here, a very passionate farmer. And if you haven't subscribed to Farm Up, come on, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, smash the notification bell. You won't miss out on a farming video. I give you guys lots of interesting information, lots of my experiences, almost all my experiences, everything that I learn, I share on this channel. So you want to learn everything that I do know about farming, just subscribe to the channel. So guys, right here in the background, you can see that we have drinkers. This is an interesting setup that we have because in here is where our Diovapas chickens live. You guys can see the structure. But right now it has been locked. All the chickens have been moved out and they're out free ranging, completely free ranging at the moment. So we let them out every day at 3 p.m. So you guys can see that the door has been locked, yeah? If I moved inside, you notice that there's completely nothing inside. In fact, let me get in. You guys can see that the structure is completely empty. The barn is completely empty and the birds are all out. We lock the house intentionally when the birds are out because we don't want them to come back inside here. We want them to move out and feed on the grass, feed on the soil, just scratch around, look for, you know, food. And over here you can see this is the feeder that they have and there's some feed still inside here. You guys can see, you know. So by the time they come in, it will be too dark and they'll be going to bed. Now this is really interesting because it has caused us to save a lot on the Diovapas chickens. Oh my God, I wish you guys knew. We've saved too much. So this is what I've learned, guys. The birds consume less than half of what they're supposed to consume if it was only commercial feed. And honestly, they have put on the amount of weight that they're supposed to put on. At this point, most of them are around the 3 kilogram mark. That's for the males. The females, just a bit over the 2 kilogram mark. And they're just what? 14 weeks? So the growth is probably not as perfect as it would be if you're giving them 100% commercial feed, but the weight that they have put on for what we are feeding them is absolutely amazing. We're giving them around 50 kilograms, 50 to 60 kilograms of feed every day. Currently, actually 60 kilograms. And at this rate, we'd probably be feeding them on around 120, 130 kilograms of feed every day. So this is really, really amazing. When the chickens go out, they just start eating the grass. They scratch around, they scratch the soil. They do a lot of sunbathing. Yeah, they do a lot of sunbathing. I don't know, if I moved close, the only problem is that many of them will run out. But if you guys take a look over there in the background, I hope you can see it. You can see some chickens sunbathing over there. That's not something that would happen perfectly inside litter, because litter is not sand and chickens love to bathe in the sand. Yeah, not inside the litter. So a lot of them are sunbathing, a lot of them are just moving around, you know, all around in the grass. This place is really, really huge. Like guys, it's huge. It's around 4-5 acres. You can see them here. You know, we have a lot of trees over here. So what happens is that the chickens love to pile up under the trees because they are shades. You know, there's a small hill over here and you can see some chickens on top of it. So the chickens usually love to pile up inside the shades because if it's really, really hot, it's not nice to be in the sunshine. But today they are really nicely broadcasted around the entire space. And guys, you remember our drinkers, our homemade drinkers? We have one of them right here. This is a really easy drinker to make. I've shared it before on the channel. Actually, I leave a link to that video right here in case you haven't seen that video. But this is an almost, well, semi-automatic kind of drinker in that you can put 20 liters of water inside that round jerry can and it just lets the water out automatically. And it's really, really cheap compared to using, you know, the more automated drinkers that we have over there in that shed. No, this is really, really easy and cheap. Now guys, this is the interesting part of the picture. You guys can identify who this is, yeah? This is one of our parent stock chickens. And this one is not just alone. There are quite many. You can see them around, you know, all the white chickens, yeah? Quite a number. So what has happened is that during sexing of these birds, because for our parent stock, that's actually just being kept over there, probably 15 meters away, the males are brown and the females are white. But then what usually happens is that during the sexing, errors could be made. And an error was made. Now when the error was made, because you know it's quite difficult to pick out all the birds, all the males, we got 67 males amongst the females. So we've got 67 of the white chickens that have come out right now. And today is the first day that we've laid them out. So right now they're supposed to be eating the grass and living just like our local chickens inside this fence. But they just seem not to be sure what to do. They just can't seem to make out. I think they're thinking, what the hell am I right now? What the hell am I doing here? Yeah. So what we're going to be doing, guys, is that we're going to get all of them. You know, you can see some again over there in the distance, the white ones. We're going to get them and they're going to be sleeping inside this house with the local chickens. Not that house. That house is where the dual-purpose birds sleep. That house in the distance. No, they're going to sleep inside this house with the local chickens, because if they do go and dare to sleep with the dual-purpose birds, they're going to be beaten up by all means, because the dual-purpose birds are way, way bigger. So they're going to be sleeping inside with the local chickens here. Hopefully they will cope up, and that means in the future we're going to have quite interesting offspring, because these are, you know, totally exotic birds, never been here, and they're going to be trying to breed with the local chickens and with the dual-purpose birds. You know, there's a mixture over here, and I even don't know what the geese are going to be thinking of these chickens, because the geese are now used to the dual-purpose birds and the local chickens, but they haven't seen such white birds. So they're going to be thinking, what the is this? The one thing that I've noticed though is that there's already a lot of fights between the white chickens and the dual-purpose chickens. Sometimes the dual-purpose ones win, sometimes the white ones win. It's going to be an interesting few days to watch. Otherwise, thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Lots of love. Catch you very soon with another video. Bye bye.